Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
So, who would like to recap what happened last time?
I did it last time.
I don't know who
Eh,
did last time.
Jin did it last time. I guess that would be my turn then.
Whoever wants to.
So, after we all had fun with that mysterious giant three-headed creature and got the island's barrier back up and running, had our little tiny rest, and decided to go to the Eye of the Storm, where said creature was possibly hiding.
After
Eh,
Amadeus warned you multiple times.
yeah, Amadeus warned us multiple times, and we all just kind of went, nah, we'll be good. So, after Various gave a quick note in the egg to Amadeus, went outside, and realized he can transform into a giant metal dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Some comedy ensued, and after multiple terrible rolls, finally made it to the Eye of the Storm, where supposedly the creature was staying.
Mm-hmm. Terrible is an understatement, by the way. Those were multiple nat ones. Multiple
And then
failures.
basically we've been walking very slowly through this area, finding out people have been, well, not just turned to stone, but had everything sucked out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And after some more shenanigans and ways around, we've come across the light barrier.
Mm-hmm. Which is where you are currently now, and holding Tibbs against his will to stop him from hurling things at a barrier that shoots everything you put into it back, including spells.
Which he is now no longer. The heck is the spell called? He's not glamored or whatever anymore, and
Yeah.
he's
His
very, very
haste,
upset.
well, because he dispelled magic once, he dodged it, but he did it a second time and it hit him straight in the face. It dispelled all of his glamours and also his haste. Now,
So happy.
as far as you know, whenever dispel magic is used, it's usually to dispel at least a effect, not multiple. Just want to bring that up to the more intelligent members of the party.
Ooh.
Can you repeat that?
You know that dispel magic only affects one thing. However, somehow the barrier, when it shot the dispel magic back, dispelled everything on Tibbs.
So that means it's strengthening what it's shooting back.
Hmm.
That's not good.
It's fine.
So here you are. It is currently, we're going to remove initiative order, so you will not be needing that for right now. So what are you guys doing? You're currently in a very quiet temple. The wind doesn't seem to be blowing almost at all. Again, you're in the eye of the storm. Almost everything is still and quiet. You haven't heard anything from the beast up above either.
One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Freya's still locked in the hug. She does not want to deal with any more crap.
Mm-hmm. What is Tibbs doing?
I think they may be taking.
Reyes, release me now.
Are you going to stop?
Define stop.
You will leave the barrier alone and we will focus on something else. It does not care who or what you are, and you are just putting us all in danger.
Various, how close are you getting to the barrier?
Uh, Probably where I can't I think it was either here or here that.
You have to be within 5 feet of it. You're only
Okay,
about 10
so
feet.
can various you take a look at it with Arcana?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a roll with Arcana. Now, what are you trying to discern about this?
Trying to discern, like, what it. something about the spell that's being used.
You don't know. You do know that it's being held together with a magic that is opposite of the one that you're familiar with at the very least. Even more so considering the fact that you have negative corruption right now, it almost feels like the barrier burns getting close to it. Like any sort of energy that's coming off of this thing seems to be pushing the energy that's inside of you away. Kind of like a magnet. You can't determine what kind of spell it is, but you can determine its element, which is positive. Would anyone else like to do anything? Is that Tibbs? You're currently being held by Freya and Flex. Rose, you're witnessing this whole thing. Various, of course, has moved forward to try to look at the barrier, and you do see him back away.
Oh, the healing spirit would be gone by now.
Okay, I'll go ahead and remove that.
Just gonna squeeze by here.
And yeah, you see the same sort of churning barrier that seems to have weird chain-looking figments going through it, kind of binding this entire pathway forward. You can't really even see past it. It's glowing so brightly that it almost seems to darken whatever's behind it.
Rose,
Yeah.
I have a theory. However, it's a dangerous one. So whether you actually want to test it or not is up to you.
Go on.
Do you? I'm assuming that I've seen you use energies of a non-healing sort.
You're talking about necrotic, right?
Yes. Would you be willing to maybe attempt to cast that at the doorway? If you don't, I don't blame you.
Yeah, you have no clue what happened to the rest of the group.
Oh,
You walked in afterwards.
Shoot.
So you don't know what the barrier's capable of. The people behind you do, but they seem to be occupied with Tibbs.
Well, then, all caution to the wind.
But yeah, you two don't know what the barrier can do. Flix, Frias, and Tibbs haven't enlightened you to it, because you came into the scene of them holding him back after he's done all these things.
Right, but I did at least see the one beam shooting straight down the hallway earlier when I was in the library.
You did see that, Rose, yes. But you don't know where it came from.
Right. Well, I suppose that's worth as much a shot as anything else here. I am going to ask, though, that the rest of you take a wide berth here, because who knows how spectacularly this is going to blow back up. Presumably.
Has anyone let go of Tiberius yet?
No.
No.
Why?
Can Belua scoop them all up?
How strong is he? What's his strength?
Go take a look.
I was going to say just tell us to move, and I'm sure Frace could just pick up the rabbit.
His strength is 17.
If you want Belly to pick up everyone, I would have you roll a strength check. Just to see if you can do it.
Now, I will... So Rose did tell you guys take a step back, so if you want to do that...
Can I attempt to stand up while still holding Tibbs?
If Tibbs is struggling, you'll need to do contested strength.
Constrict.
There's no resist right now. For whatever reason,
No
Tibbs has
resistance?
gone completely slack.
Okay, then you can go ahead and just drag him.
So is it like a
Alright,
kid
we're just
holding
gonna-
Oh, that's
a
what it
rabbit?
is. Kind of like.
cute.
So yeah, it's almost like trying to pull a rabbit.
kind of
So go
just
ahead and-
pick up a little, bring him over there, and then she'll get back down so he isn't like his feet are off the ground again.
let's put him up there. Slick's gonna move as well.
Oh yeah.
Okay, make sure you move your token.
And I'm gonna move down this hallway a little bit.
Okay, and since you're moving down that hallway a little bit, what is your vision range?
I thought we
It's-
agreed 60.
Yeah, I think it's dark vision.
You can actually see a large pillar this way, at least the shadow of one.
Okay.
All right. So since this is a touch spell, I'm going to approach the barrier then.
I need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw first as you approach.
All right.
I'm sorry, I tried to be cautious.
Okay, you succeed. You feel a strange energy trying to kind of enter you, Rose, but your own elemental attunement to fire pushes it back a little bit. But it's a little weaker against this force. Just a little bit.
All right. And once I'm within range, I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds at the barrier.
Wild magic first.
Ah, yes.
Oh no.
Oh, yes. Have you forgotten?
Oh no!
Oh,
Time to start
boy.
rolling those 44s.
25. Rose, you begin to start casting your spell. You kind of almost reach out, a little perturbed by the strange energy, kind of almost try to push you back. That you don't actually touch the barrier, and you kind of recoil a little bit as your magic starts to spark out of control. And instead, the energy that you were trying to focus into the barrier recoils into your arm and kind of spirals up it into your core. And for the next minute, all the range of your spells are now doubled.
Oh.
So what's touch doubles?
It's when you put both of your hands forward.
Yeah.
Well,
Let me
since
show you
range-
the power of two
Well,
hands.
if you think about it, touch has a range of 5 feet, so it technically become 10 feet.
Oh, something I've been meaning to ask as well. Is trying to use a spell and having wild magic go off instead, does that consume the spell slot?
Yes. 'Cause you're still using your magic.
Alright. Take a step back then. I'm gonna look over to Various. Well, that could have been worse.
You are still alive. Somewhat.
No offense. First round match of the session. Good job, guys. Great job. Are you going to tell?
I think it's safe to say that we are not going to root our way through whatever the hell this is.
Well, I suppose it just means we need to explore a bit more.
Sounds like a plan here. I guess I'll head down this here direction.
Okay. And it's a very long kind of corridor, but it leads into an incredibly large room that you can see a large pillar in the center of.
Okay.
You see like green tapestries dictating the plane of wind, and on the pillar itself, this thing rises through the ceiling itself. Like this thing is huge, but you can see there's holes going through it, almost like tunnels in a way. They're not big enough for a person to fit through, but it's more like enough for wind to blow through. And it has various markings of like the mountains, of clouds, and like with that. And it has a big sigil, like kind of a letter, at least plastered over some parts of it, where it would be almost like a crest of sorts. It's in primordial.
Okay. Do I? What is it saying then?
It's basically just says east.
Hmm.
And in fact, as you kind of move over here, you see a large rug on the floor, as well as a pedestal holding an orb.
Orb.
It's pure white in color and seems to be radiating wind energy. But the energy, as you can see, the pedestal itself, it's almost as if the orbs slot into these. And it has sort of runoffs, like kind of like you would with water, but it's meant to catch wind. But for some reason, the wind isn't catching into these canals. It's just flowing off into the ground.
So is the okay? So just trying to visualize this here. Is the wind supposed to be
Think of
coming
like
from the pillar to the orb then?
you actually see the winds coming from the orb itself, almost like frost or liquid nitrogen kind of rolling off of something. That's how it's kind of acting with this orb. Except it's wind, but instead of going into the channels that this sort of pedestal has for it, it's just falling onto the floor as if it's not connected to this thing.
Okay, are these supposed to be channels then?
Yes. I can only do so much when it's top down.
Can I kind of get a closer look and discern why it's not going to the channels?
Give me a history.
Oh, also 18.
You not quite sure. You're not too up to date on the goings of wind, but you could probably get a general idea that maybe this orb isn't where it's supposed to be.
Alright. And anything on the other side of the pillar?
The exact same thing, except you see a different colored orb in another pedestal. This one is pure. It's almost like a dark gray color. And it has this exact same thing going on. The wind is kind of coming off of the orb, but it's pulling into the ground and dissipating.
Mm-hmm.
Tibbs, where you're at, there are no books on the ground at all. It's just like kind of this big wooden motif on the floor, kind of with floorboards and stuff like that, with the carving of a dragon.
Alright, I'll head back to the junction here.
Okay.
And Various has gone up north.
Okay. Darius will go up to you. You see a similar sight to Rose, but you see instead different sigils on the pillar that's in front of you. And since you do understand primordial, you would understand these as north.
Okay.
But the same thing has kind of winding tubes going through the pillar that you can actually look through to the other side, etc. And the same over here, you see a pedestal with a yellow colored orb on it. I hope that's yellow. Is that
Yes,
right?
it is yellow.
Okay. I had to. I used my color wheel and I'm like, okay, this one is specifically that. Like I have my notes open and everything. It's like, it's supposed to be yellow.
It's actually a nice golden color.
Oh, okay. Close enough. Yeah, you see the same thing Rose had seen. It's as if the wind is flowing off of this orb, but instead of falling into the channels that kind of float toward the pillar, like you could see like little grooves in the ground, it's just flowing off into the floor and dissipating.
Can I move the orb?
You can try.
Okay.
How much can you pick up and carry?
I'm a bun.
What is
I'm
your
also
strength?
a,
This thing is about half your body size. This thing's big.
probably.
Like we're talking about, this thing is like 2 feet in diameter.
Okay, the strength is 11.
I'd say roll me a strength to see if you can pick this thing up.
Can he like shift it, like turn it at all?
You can. It's almost like you know when you turn something that's like being held up by wind or air, like high pressure and keeping in a central area, but you can still spin it. Kind of like you can do that.
So he's gonna do that and see if anything changes.
No, nothing. It just spins. If anything, the wind that's coming off of the orb is just flying out in all directions now. And blowing you back a little bit. It smells clear, almost clean.
Hmm.
Would one say sterile?
Yeah, actually. But it's refreshing to breathe. And you see a similar sight over in this area, except it's a very deep red orb.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So let's go back to the others real quick. Freya, Flix, Tibbs.
Yeah.
What are you doing right now?
Tiberius is
Especially you,
going to
Tibbs.
find
You have run off.
Yes, Tiberius is going to find himself a lovely book.
Okay. And you're going down into the room that you and Tibbs had, you and Various had originally been in, right?
Yes, there were books in there and statues that he didn't care for.
Ah, yes, the creepy statues. As you kind of walk into the room once again, you see that several of the statues that had been previously in states of decay were now completely decayed. So there's like piles of dust and stuff in areas here and here.
Any of those piles of dust have a book in them?
You don't know.
Where's the nearest one?
You can check the shelves. There's tons of shelves of books.
Yes. Tiberius is going to check the shelves and grab the first book that tickles his fancy.
All right. So let's see. I need a generator. Title.
Please be something about anger management.
Oh no.
Oh, yes.
You reach out kind of for the first book, and you see kind of a nice little blue book that kind of pulls it out, and it's like it reads like 5 stars, international bestseller, The Queer Jury.
Um.
He's going to start just flipping through it casually as he makes his way back.
Just gonna put it back in.
No, he's carrying it with him, just flipping through it, and he's making his way back to the barrier.
Okay. It's a pretty hefty book. It's got some
Perfect.
girth to it. Oh no. Okay. Flix and Frius, Tibbs is gone. He ran off. And
Yeah, you seem to do that.
and Rose, as you kind of go around the corner, you see that Tibbs is indeed gone.
I take it the hugging session went well.
For now.
Well, it was that or let him attempt to blow everybody up with the barrier.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah.
Anyways, there's a weird pillar down this way and 2, like, big red, not red, sorry, but black and white orbs, which apparently are supposed to funnel the wind into something, but it's not connecting for some reason.
Are they blocking the path?
Well, the fact that they're not quite working as intended, but the lead ones to suggest that they may be worth trying to correct. Where did Various go?
Oh, Oh, I wouldn't have seen it. I was around the wall.
Mm-hmm. You wouldn't have seen him.
Well, they didn't come this way, so either they made it past the barrier or down the other hall.
I'm gonna go take a look. Oh, and if Tibbs comes by, you know what to do by now. And then continues on.
Yes. Hug him harder.
Tibbs, are you heading back?
Yep.
And Rose, as you kind of go into this, you see the similar scene that Various had seen. You see a yellow orb and a red orb, and you see Various.
This looks familiar.
Does it?
Yeah, there's a room just like this at the opposite end, except it has black and white orbs there. And it looks like these have the same kind of defect.
Any idea what they're for?
Couldn't tell you, to be honest, but it looks like they're supposed to funnel the wind power somehow into those grooves on the sides.
And any particular reason that they... Is there any particular purpose to it? Or is it something that we shouldn't worry about right now?
Did I glean anything about the purpose at all then, or was that what the history roll was for?
You don't know the exact purpose, no. You're not a wind primordial, so you don't know the ins and outs of the wind temple. You know what they can do, possibly. They obviously channel some sort of wind energy, but you don't know how or why.
You were rummaging through the library earlier. Did you see any sections covering, I don't know, wind mechanics or technology?
You picked up a book too, Rose.
Oh, what book did I pick up?
You have The Color of the Four Winds. Literally in the book you picked up. The question is, does your character remember?
Various shrugs. They seem to be very, how to put it, out of order. I found a mystery book beside a Dragon Care book.
As well as a crime noir book. You haven't opened the books.
No, he hasn't. He was in a rush to just steal as many books as he could.
Acquire. The term
Acquire.
is acquire.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait, book. I'm gonna search through my belongings here.
And yeah, you have a book titled The Color of the Four Winds. It's
Okay,
kind of got a
so-
worn cover, almost like it's a rather old book. Like even the pages are a little bit more of like tea stained and kind of like. So it's obviously been well used.
Also, East, I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing at the delivery because it was just perfect.
It was good delivery.
Okay, before I bring the book out, I'm going to just I'm gonna grab like some, because I got like explorer's pack here, so I assume it's something like this. I'm just going to like grab some strips of cloth out there and put them around my hands before I touch the book again.
Smart. Because yeah, it's still covered in some dust.
Uh-oh.
Let's cut to Tibbs real quick.
Oh, Christ.
Meanwhile,
As he's walking by, Freys will be like, "What are you doing?"
Okay, give me a ranged attack, please. Just like 1d your dex. 1d20 your dex. Okay. And what's your armor class?
14.
Yes.
Okay, so you all see Tibbs chuck this rather heavy book directly into the barrier, and very similar to what you've all seen beforehand, it gets absorbed into the barrier before it's immediately shot out at almost double the velocity and smacks Tibbs' flat face with its cover in his face. And you take... Since it's double that, because that's what happens to this barrier, you take 7 points of damage to the face and get thrown on your ass as the book spirals into the air and collapses to the ground.
Oh God.
So,
Oh. I
Freya will squat down, look at
also
him.
give me a roll tips. Just a 1d20.
Oh no. Is this because the book opened?
No, it's because he's wearing glasses. Your glasses are fine.
Oh.
Freya
They're
will
thankfully not shattered.
Freya squats down, looks at him for a few moments, and goes,
Feel better?
"Are you sure you want to do this anymore?"
Now, if anything, I've just proven that it throws not only magic, but also physical objects back at you!
Maybe you should stop throwing things at it, dear.
And what? Figure it out and ask it nicely open. Oh, barrier, would you please open? See, it's not working.
It's an inanimate object. It can't hear you.
It's magical. Can you not tell it's magical? If it was an inanimate, it wouldn't be swirling and made of lights, Freys.
Water moves. Would you like a hand up?
Water is not inanimate.
Especially not here.
No, it's not. No, it is not. Neither is light, for that matter.
Tiberius is going to shove the book off of him and not accept the help up as he picks himself back up.
And no, the book did not open on its way out. It just hit him and square in the face.
Now, where did that idiot Varius go off to?
They're probably solving how to get the door open. They've gone down the hall to the left.
Shouldn't you be talking to people through that stone that you were suggesting? Wouldn't that be more useful of you?
She'll keep her mouth shut, just gives a few nods, and walks back out to Flix, pulling out the stone.
All right, what are you gonna do with the stone?
She'll just basically say, Amadeus, we cannot get inside. There is currently a barrier up. We want to know what's going on with you.
You hear nothing. Nothing but dead air.
Oh, I'm sure that's fine.
Could she hear herself through Flix's stone?
Yes.
Flix, are you going to reply?
Also, just as a side note, my brother just brought his Pokemon cards in. He has 2 Kadabras. Old Kadabras.
Dark Kadabra.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, look at how many Pokemon cards are worth.
A lot.
Okay, sorry about that. He just had to bring
Okay.
that in because he saw the news about the Kadabra thing.
Well, we should probably go to the others. I believe Amadeus is busy, or magic is being fun again.
Okay, Rose. As you flip open the book, you start to see several passages about the natures of the 4 winds of wind. You know that they control various aspects of wind in general throughout not only the planes, but the entire multiverse. You know, at least gathering from the information in here, that the winds are associated with a color. And that the color is created by 2 orbs of a similar hue channeling into one. They also are dictated by a specific direction. You go to one page, and for east, it's red. For north, it's black. West is white. South is yellow.
Well,
All right. Can you repeat the directions, please?
Red is east. Black is north. White is west. Yellow is south.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the book tells you. It doesn't really tell you the nature of the winds in general. It just tells you about the colors and its association with different aspects of wind. So it's a little long-winded, but that's what you're able to glean directly from it.
I might be onto something here.
Oh. And what is the point of these pillars anyway? I know that this says north on it.
Is there any mention in the book about the orbs themselves, or?
No, just the colors of wind. But after Various tells you that this pillar represents north, you look at the orbs that are currently in the pedestals, red and yellow. They're the wrong colors. But you notice that there's also 2 pedestals here.
Well, considering that this is the north pillar here, north tends to be associated with wind with black. Except black is in near the pillar down the hall.
Why would they move them from their proper places? What's the entire point?
You don't know.
There might be something here worth trying out at least, then.
To what aim? What would this particularly do?
Let's go pick up some orbs.
Flix, you don't know about this since you're out with Freyas and Tibbs. You haven't come to this realization with Various and Rose yet.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, I was gonna contact them on the stone in a little bit, but
You can do that if you want right now, because they're just mostly trying to figure out what's what right now.
yeah, she'll contact on the stones like Various Rose. Have you found anything?
He looks down at his stone, snorting. Some mix-up, apparently.
Mixed up in what way?
There's a pillar, there's orbs that are supposed to be associated with certain directions. They just aren't in the right places. And I don't see why we're bothering with this.
So pick them up and put them in the right hole.
They're bigger than I am.
So get levitation magic and put it in the right hole.
I do have a question, in fact. Does it look like there's been any activity, like say if I go to the yellow orb, does it look like there's been any activity near there recently?
Investigation check from any place.
Actually, let's do. Okay, give myself proficiency on that. So
nice.
that's a 23.
All right. So you start to get a little bit closer to the pedestals, kind of looking for any possible signs of things being moved. You notice that some of the parts of the pillar, the actual pedestal itself, have been chipped. And upon closer inspection, you notice that there are fingerprints. You know primordials don't have fingerprints. Outsiders do.
Various.
Hmm?
This didn't get moved by a primordial.
Are they perhaps Various's fingerprints?
No.
Okay.
Flix is going to start down the other hallway.
Okay.
Well, I did spin it for a moment just to see.
Alright, you guys do see Flix run off? With troubles tagging along?
Freyas will just respond, Flick, saying, well, there's nothing better to do unless you want to watch Tiberius
Bye!
possibly kill himself over the barrier.
And he's gone. Flix, yeah, you do indeed come to a site. You haven't seen these rooms.
Okay.
When you came to visit here, you visited the libraries and the upper floors.
Yeah.
So this room's new to you. So you see this huge, massive pillar with holes out all throughout it, with different sigils and writing all over the pillar itself. And at least from your sign of vision, you see a white orb over here on a pedestal.
Oh, well, all right.
And over here, you see a dark gray orb.
Huh. Okay.
So, Various, what is this puzzle or disorganization? Do we know anything about it, or
Do I hear this in my stone as well?
Yes, you all hear it. All the sending stones are connected.
How big is the orb?
About 2 feet in diameter.
And is there like a clearing path behind it?
It's just an orb that seems to be surrounded by gusts of wind. And it's just kind of floating there on the pedestal.
Okay. And there's a wall right here by it?
Yes.
Alright, I'm long and lanky, so I am going to get behind the orb,
Okay.
stretch my body out, and kick it off.
It is very easy to kick off. In fact, it actually tumbles off the pedestal, and you think it's going to hit the floor, but it just catches itself and hovers.
Okay. I'm going to use my wings, and I'm going to push it around the room.
Okay. It pushes rather easily. It's almost as if you're pushing something that's being just held up by air. Which way are you pushing it?
I'm going to bring it, like, over here. I want to bring it over here to where the carvings are.
Okay.
That's my plan. And do any of the carvings look like they match something with the orb itself? The coloring? Are there any inscriptions on the orb?
No, the orb is completely smooth.
And it's just white.
And just white.
And what are the carvings and holes that are on this pedestal in front of me?
They're the same color as the pillar, sort of a dark marble color. They
Okay.
don't really seem to indicate anything.
And nothing has like a white or black color to it?
Let's see this. This is... No. In fact, it's all just a gray stone marble color.
Okay.
There's no indications of color.
Trial by error. I stick it in a hole.
Okay. Let me roll something. Okay. The orb does fit in, at least into one hole that you stuck it into, but considering the fact that it is being pushed along by wind and it's very easy to push, you literally shove it into the hole and it comes out the other side, over here. And you just hear a chunk as it hits the wall and it's on the other side.
So there's two holes like adjacent from each other, or?
Essentially, but there's some that you can definitely see curve upward or go opposite of where you put them in, etc. Sort of like tunnels going through the entire pillar.
Okay.
Like, for instance, looking over here, you see nothing but darkness, as you can kind of guess that the hole over here kind of slants upward.
Okay. I'm going to go and get the black ball and push it off.
Okay. And that's very easy to do. Once again, just like the white orb, it just floats off.
And bring it back over to where I am now to push it into the up hole.
Okay! I'm gonna roll something for this. Flix, you push the orb into the hole and it completely vanishes from your sight. You don't hear anything.
Oh, good, that worked.
You don't
Now
hear
I'm gonna
anything from
go-
that.
Yeah, now I'm gonna go get the white orb and push it in the same hole.
Okay.
Clearly it worked the first time.
Wait, what just happened?
It's okay, I'm getting us past the puzzle.
So, Frius, Flix, as you kind of push the orb inside, it vanishes and you don't see anything. But, Frius, right behind you, you hear something fall from above and you hear it behind you. And there is now a white orb floating behind you.
Well, that's lucky that you weren't 5 foot left.
Things are coming up Millhouse. No, I'm joking.
But yeah, there's now a 2-diameter orb sitting behind you, floating as if it's being kind of uplifted by the winds that course around it. Just came literally from the sky.
She's gonna look at it, type ears, and be like, Is somebody doing something?
Freya, if you're going to speak nothing, absolutely. Stop touching me, Belua! Yes, it's a scar. What's it to you? Your master gave me that. Now leave me alone. Freya, what is that behind you?
Just looks like a white orb being held up by wind. She'll poke it.
And it will kind of drift to the side.
What? Where did it come from? It just fell?
Almost on me, yes.
Now you're about 5 foot. You're about over 5 feet, right, Freya?
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing probably could have really crushed you if it landed on you. You know, it's quite large.
Tiberius is going to look at the stone and just... Did anyone throw a white orb any place that is required somewhere else because it almost crushed Freyas?
And Flex comes around the corner.
Sure showed that puzzle. What's going on?
You see the orb sitting there in the hallway.
Where'd the black orb go?
That's for you to find out.
Oh no.
Did you lose
My
something?
eyes narrow as I dart to the orb and grab it
What's
Okay.
going on?
and
What-
push it back down the damn hallway.
She's gonna stop him. She's going to stop him.
You're not stopping him. He's too fast.
Can I not?
Come here, orb. You're going back in your hole.
She's just gonna
Back
watch
in
him
your
run down the
hole.
hall.
This is where you belong.
So he's catamaring this ball. 'cause
Yes,
it's
I will
that
not be
large.
outsmarted by an orb. Okay, that hole didn't work. Is there a hole over here?
There's holes everywhere.
All right, I'm going to stick it in another hole. This one right here.
Okay
This
then.
hole is where it's going. In
Yeah.
you go, orb.
And it goes in and vanishes.
Aha! Problem solved. Right, I'm gonna go back up and strut like the man I am and how awesome I was at that.
Oh, jeez.
It's okay, Freeze, dear. It's taken care of. I showed that orb who's boss. It won't bother us again. Stupid inanimate object thinking it's people.
Russ, face. What are you doing?
Alright, well, seeing as how the red is associated with an east direction, now the pillar itself, or at least what I can see here, is there anything in the pillar itself indicating any sort of direction it belongs to?
Yes, you
Various-
actually see crests. Yeah, Various can bring that up to you, actually.
Jarius actually told you, remember? He mentioned it said north.
Mhm.
Okay, so this
This
is...
one had crests depicting north and primordial.
Okay, so... Let's see... Well, let's see, if this is north, there the black orb in the other hallway, or in that other room. It may go with this one in some way.
Alright. You were looking at that book. Did it say anything specific about why these are the way they are?
Nothing about necessarily the function of these, but the fact that the colors themselves match up with the orbs is...
Simple.
It's simple, but it doesn't sound like a coincidence either.
Well then, get that off the pedestal and let's go and see if one says south over there.
Alright, I'm gonna head towards the red orb,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna see if I can just try to, like, hoist it towards me.
So you kind of put your hands on it?
Yeah,
Kind of pull it towards you?
yeah.
And it moves without any real issue. It's like kind of moving a balloon almost.
Alright. And I'm just gonna go ahead and I guess start rolling it this way.
Okay. And it pushes easy enough. In fact, you kind of have to slow a little bit as it will go further ahead of you. Call Edelon. What are you doing that for? Oh, I'm calling Bellywood too. Okay.
Why don't we see what happens when we put this orb on that particular pedestal?
Would that color necessarily match what this is? Which would...
No, I mean this is supposed to be a north area. The way the black one would make more sense.
Then let's not be... Bill was gonna try and lift the orb, the yellow one.
Mm-hmm. And trying to lift the orb, it's actually incredibly heavy.
Okay, so
It's also slippery.
can they get it off of the pedestal?
Yes, you can. He has 17 strength, he'll be able to lift it.
Alright. What does yellow connect to?
Yellow is south.
Then. And he's gonna look at the pillar and go around it. Are there any other names, directions on it?
No, this pillar just says north. That's
Okay.
it.
And you said there were other ones down...
The other room had one marked for south.
Very well, that seems like where we're going then. And Bella and Various are...
I'm bringing the red orb with me too.
You guys start to see with Belua carrying an orb.
Flix?
Flix is donning a Sherlock Holmes hat.
And yeah, you run right into Various there, Flix.
I peer past him and see the yellow orb. Aha! This is not your lucky day, my friend! And I fly past him and push the orb towards the other pillar.
Oh no.
Bella is going to resist.
Yeah, Belua, go ahead and roll contestant strength checks because Belua is holding the orb.
Okay, let's strength.
Oh yeah, you cannot push it out of Belua's big beefy bunny arms.
But I see another orb!
Oh no.
Oh no, and Rose is just kind of carrying this one around.
No.
Taking it away!
Contested strength.
While they're fighting, Various and Bella are gonna scoot on down the hall.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, Flix are able to shove it right past Rose.
It's going right in the hole! And when it gets in there, I yell goal.
Okay,
let me do a... Oh, lordy. Where does this one end up? Oh, okay, it ends up there. And it's gone.
Okay.
What the hell, Flex?
Is there
I solved the puzzle, you're welcome!
is there a hole near south?
This is not south. In fact, you see both of the pedestals that originally were occupied they're empty.
But there was something on the pillar that said south, right?
This says east.
Oh.
What?
This one says east.
Rose, I think that you need some primordial lessons.
What's... Oh.
Is this normal? Do you have to learn language? Like, need a primer or something?
Can... Well, look,
I feel like he's gonna hit Barry.
Tibbs, as you get to that point, you see that there is something shiny now sitting over in one of the libraries down to the kind of southern area.
Oh.
well, considering what this actually is, this would have been a nice revelation if I still had the orb with me.
Well,
Flix is doing his little victory dance down the barrier, waiting for Belial to put in the last orb so that the puzzle can be solved and they can go through.
Oh, you poor fool.
is there any sign of south anywhere?
No, this pillar just says east.
Freya still has no idea what's going on besides spheres appearing magically.
And now Flix is dancing in front of her.
Tibbs, you see a dark gray orb just kind of sitting and floating in the corner of the library. There is a hole in the ceiling above it.
You're muted.
You're muted.
Muted him.
Tyrese is going to look at the hole, look at the orb, look at the hole, slowly raise a stone to his mouth. Did someone lose a black orb?
Go ahead and roll perceptions for all of you, see if you even can hear him.
I think he's speaking in the stone.
Oh, the
Yeah,
stone's okay, yeah. Yeah. Then you'll hear him.
Yeah, there was a black orb in here just recently.
My eyes narrow.
Rose, go help him. And take it wherever it's
Oh,
supposed
the
to
hell
go.
you do, orb! You're now my nemesis!
Oh, you don't know where
I
Tibbs
will
exactly
find you!
is. There he is. Yeah, Tibbs is sitting there staring at an orb.
I am running for this orb!
Flix, what are you doing?
That orb and I have business!
Yes, but it didn't work.
Business!
It didn't work the first time. Are you sure this is the right way of doing things?
Says the rabbit who threw himself against the barrier! Shut up, I know more than you!
Look, let's
I will not be outsmarted by this orb!
look
It's on, orb! It's you and me! I'm doing this!
now.
It's literally in a
Look at
corner. It is literally just floating in a corner.
And I'm yelling at it.
Look, if you really want to show this orb what you mean, let's just get
I
back
do.
up.
Oh, I do. Yeah, it's going down. It's gonna go in that hole and it's gonna stay there. I'm gonna friggin' hold person on the goddamn orb if I have to.
Look,
Meanwhile,
just
Viv-
take the orb and follow me. I have a plan.
I take the orb and follow Rose.
Okay. Let's say don't hit them. Very Symbelua, what are you doing with your orb?
He's basically waiting for them to figure it out.
Alright, Rose.
Alright, so I guide the orb back up to the pillar that does say north. I'm like 99% sure about this.
This one says north.
Pretty sure I threw this orb in here and it didn't work.
So,
No, you threw it in the bottom area.
It's all the same. It's a giant pillar hole.
alright. Bring it around here. Nice and easy. Come on.
Okay.
I'm going to try putting the pillar on this pedestal.
Okay,
Or put
Rose,
the orb on the pedestal.
as you move the orb onto the pedestal, you see the orb actually go onto it, kind of like the other ones, but you see it sink down into the actual orb-like crevice that it has, and you hear a click, just this rumbling click as you see the wind that kind of emanates off of it start to flow into the channels and flow through the ground. And you see this kind of soft green energy flowing on the floor toward the pillar and into the pillar. Kind of like how you would see power going from circuits and stuff like that.
Oh, it was wind power, not just the ball. That makes sense.
You see,
We need to
Flix,
go spike the other ones into the spots. Let's go.
you're using your head for once.
Vitally
Well
important,
done.
Rose. The game is afoot.
I'm going to say this setting stone. We got the black orb in the north pedestal, and that seems to be working a-okay.
Various, we need to spike it in a spot.
This one says east, though.
So spike it in east.
I
Put
don't
it
know
in
what.
H.
He looks to Rose.
Let's put it in this one right over here. It looks different.
How about down here instead?
That's not east. That's south. Your directions are bad.
No, the pillar says east. But he starts to get up, putting away his book before he can open it up.
Look, yes, this does say east, but reason would also dictate that.
Reason means nothing. The pillar says east. Put it on the pillar.
Look, let's just look. This pillar here is a direct opposite north. We can at least try putting it on here. Doesn't work. We'll
But
take
you
it
said that it was the east orb.
No, the east pillar. This orb is apparently south.
That makes no sense.
So you're gonna put the orb on the pedestal.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll guide that yellow orb onto this pedestal.
Nothing happens.
I told you. Other pedestal now. I grab the orb.
Okay. Jeez. And yeah, Flip flies past you, catamarrying that orb, and puts it into the pedestal. Nothing happens.
Oh my god, this orb is a lie! I sit on top of the orb, trying to force it down.
On top of it? Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
nothing
force it
happens.
down.
Damn it! You actually can't. It
Damn my
doesn't
girlish
slot it.
figure!
Yeah, you didn't.
No,
Yeah.
wait a second. Okay. So it doesn't fit here, but where did the red one go?
What red one?
There's a red orb in the other room. It should go with this east pedestal.
What red orb?
Flix.
What red
Flex.
orb? Oh! Into the pillar! Oh. Where's the white one? You guys go look, and I'll sit here and keep this one company until it's time for it to click.
I'll go back into Saying Stone. Team, any signs of a red or white, vaguely sphere-shaped object? Over.
I'm going to take this resounding silence as a no.
Oh, I was typing out my answer.
Oh, I'm
I found a
sorry.
yellow one. I'm on a yellow one. This one's yellow.
Phrase is just like, I'm looking around. Judging by how if the stone was in a room and suddenly almost crushed me, they could be anywhere. If someone has locate object, I'm sure it'd help. And then she goes back to walking.
Tiberius.
What is Tibbs doing?
Does Tibbs see it? Remember, his perception is terrible.
There is a window over here. Tibbs, you saw something outside the window.
No statues on the couch, right?
No. Just dust. Yeah, looking through the window, you see an orb just sitting there in the grass.
It's outside.
Oh, Leonard's luck.
You know, I'm just going to... Belwa will stick with you. I'm going to sit and read.
You got this,
Yes.
Rose. I believe in you.
You begin to see a large pillar in a room ahead.
Ooh.
Various. What book are you going to be reading? What one are you opening?
Oh no.
Did anyone mention anything about the pillars over the rock?
No.
Oh, great. She knows nothing about this then.
Yeah, you just see a big pillar with carvings and designs, and looks like it's full of holes.
She'll probably take a good walk around the room if you just want to unveil the whole
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was doing. And yeah, in this room you see a large pillar with some green rugs and 2 pedestals that are holding an amber orb and a pink orb.
She's gonna pull up the rock and go, what colors were we looking for again?
We were looking for white and red.
Unless age can affect these ones, I've found one that is sort of orange and one that looks pink.
Is there anything else in that room with you?
A very large pillar with holes in it.
Are you able to decipher the pillar?
Can I read anything about this pillar?
Hold on. Various. As you open the book, you feel a twinge of magic shoot out from the binds, and you see a purple serpent just shoot forward and through your eyes. And you kind of look up from the book, noticing this, but you notice that there, at the corner of your eye, there seems to be a serpent laughing at you. You are now cursed with the laughing serpent curse. You will now see a laughing serpent in the corner of your vision for 1 hour.
Your serpent's gonna be so jealous.
He needs to resummon them, but we've been on the move so much that he hasn't gotten the chance.
Yeah, you see a snake laughing at you in the corner of your vision for an hour. It's purple.
Is this the same thing as the purple elephant?
No, that was a pink elephant. This just kind of is always in the corner of your vision, laughing at you. And you can hear it too. It sounds familiar.
Great.
It sounds like Tibb's voice.
Ooh.
Cursing!
So Freys will, again, call out over the stone. Should I do anything with these stones, or...
Well, first things first, you said there's a pillar there. Can you understand it?
Yeah, can I understand any of this?
Can you read Primordial?
Doesn't say anything on my card.
Nope. No clue.
She'll relay that information. Not a clue.
Alright, hold tight.
She'll give him general directions. Go through the main foyer, go... Yeah.
So, how much did Rose say about what he had read?
He told you about the colors. And that they correspond to a certain direction. Red was east, black was north, white was west, yellow was south.
Okay, Tibbs, did you say that over the sending stone?
Yes.
You know that's not a terrible idea.
Of course not. It's from me.
Rose, as you enter the room, you see that this pillar dictates west.
West. Alright. Right. Yo, Tibbs.
Yes, Rose.
Grab that white stone, and I'll give him directions to the current room they're in.
Plus,
Very
how's
excited.
he gonna- how's he gonna get to it?
Mage hand.
There's a window, and it's closed.
Yes? Mage hand?
Again,
Closed
there's a
window.
window. It's a closed window. with no latches or anything to open.
But I can see it.
You can see it, yes.
And he can technically cast the spell through it, just he doesn't. He's saying he can cast the spell to pick it up from there, but he has no way to bring it in.
Mm-hmm.
Because
There's
Tiberius.
no latches or anything to open the bloody window.
Mm-mm.
Tiberius will mark on it with the paw. Does it sound like it's easy to break?
Give me a... Let's do just straight intelligence.
Oh, that's not a good plan. I was just gonna say yes.
I'll take the 18. No, this thing sounds thick. Like, you can actually get a little closer at it. You can see shards of almost a gemstone-like filling inside the glass itself. And
What
you
if it's-
realize that if you tried to punch it, you're probably going to break your hand.
I wasn't gonna plan on punching it. Magic is far more useful for that, even if there's wild magic.
Mhm.
Where have I seen that the walls were allowing me to bring things, like where there was no walls, where I could see the god-forsaken grass?
You know,
Back
there's
here.
the walls
This
over
area, yeah.
here and over here. All the thick, like, gray
Okay,
areas, that's
so-
all wall.
There is going to be constant cursing as Tiberius is slowly padding his way all the way around. Literally, the entire time, he is just complaining the entire way about how he has to do everything.
At least the grass is soft.
Meanwhile, Various, move that one pink orb off it there. Bring it closer to the pillar here. I'm gonna do the same thing up
Who?
here. Or I'm talking to Frias.
Yeah, there's the orb right there in front of you, Tibbs. And it's very easy to move and kind of push along. Kind of floats.
You think Tiberius is going to touch it? No, Mage Hand.
Okay, well, go ahead.
Flicks.
Maybe you should give us power to touch the orbs and drag them so you don't have to watch
Alright.
30 people.
Flicks and pushing it.
Edit. Let me edit, please.
No.
Since you're gonna be controlling the pink one, Frias, I'll go ahead and give you... What's up? Dinner?
Animals.
Animals, oh. Hold on. Okay, so... I'll do that when I come back. I gotta go take care of chickens for my neighbor. I will be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Tiberius is not having a good day.
At least you didn't have to ride the enemy and then fall off a roof.
No, I
and then
just
watch
had to
somebody basically punch themselves multiple times.
have, no, I just
with
had
magic.
To have, years of trauma revealed to the world. That's all.
Freya's welcomed it with opening arms.
Yes, and Tiberius thought that she was trying to put a knife in his back.
It's all about the long con.
Exactly. There's no other reason for a physical contact like that.
I wonder how much damage that orb would have done if it hit me.
Oh man, I don't want to think about that.
As long as it's not more than 60.
Does kind of make you wonder how shot put tournaments are handled around here.
Yeah, I feel like wind would cheat a lot.
Or just imagine this: pumpkin chunkin, except with orbs.
Isn't the goal of them though to break them?
Well, more the, I mean, breaking them, like the carnage itself is like part of the entertainment value, but it's to see how far you can get it.
I was about to say touche, but I almost said trebuchet. And I didn't mean that pun to happen.
That's amazing.
So yeah, new colors, and obviously I'm going to assume down there is also another thingamabob. So yay, we have 8 colors in totals and only 4 spots.
In the book specifically said it's an amalgamation of 2 colors. A primary and a secondary.
Yes, colors that are similar to one another.
So red and
Mhm.
pink, gray and black, yellow and
But-
what was that other one?
Oh shit.
Oh, it was dark gray. So dark. Oh no, that was black. Yay, fun puzzle.
Crinkle, crinkle, crinkle.
Mm.
What kind of chips were they?
Can you not tell by the crinkle of the bag?
I was gonna guess all dressed. What about you, Az? What kind of chips do you think they were from the crinkle?
I go with classic, just salted.
Hmm.
Ah,
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna play my wild card and say tortilla.
Oh. Flicks.
They were.
Right now,
it was
Flicks,
written in chat.
Sorry.
Ah.
Oh man, I haven't had Sun Chips in forever.
They're so good. The garden salsa ones are amazing.
Garden salsa.
They're really good. Like, they've got a little bit of mild spice. They've got some tomato in there. They've got this nice... I don't even know how to put it, but it does so well.
Hmm.
Well, you said it had some sort of spice, and that it was mild, and the last time I had anything that was mild and hot, I cried for an hour, so I'm good.
Dear God, what did you have that was mild and made you cry?
There's a hot sauce called Red Hot, and it was mild.
Like Frank's Red Hot?
No, like, these chips are not even like hot chips. It takes like 5 of them to even get like a slight spicy feel.
Yeah,
but
I've had actual hot chips. Those are not. Yeah, Sun Chips are not hot.
Have any of you had the Paqui hot chips, the Paqi hot chips?
Those sound familiar.
Oh, they're so good. Let me get them for you.
What's that like one? It's like the world's hottest chip. Like if you get it, it's like
Paqui.
individually wrapped. Is that it?
Oh no! These are the ones that you can get without killing yourself. But yes, they do have individually wrapped ones for the Paqis. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's indeed what it is.
Yeah. You can get the bags that are not murder, and then you can get the one chip challenge boxes, which is the individually wrapped chips. Where can you have more than one?
Remember those Doritos where I can't remember what they were, but like the ratio was 1 in every 10 chips was covered in ghost pepper, and the rest of them were just covered in like regular.
Oh, so good.
Oh, that would be so mean.
It's like, oh, these are nice, crunch, crunch, crunch. You get to that one, and you're just suddenly crying and bursting out and just done.
I sort of wish that I had known about this before, while we were still doing family gatherings, because I would have totally taken a bag of those to Christmas.
Oh, opened them up, poured them in a bowl, so no one even knew the name.
Yep, because they love Doritos. And then I just sit back and watch, laugh.
That's evil, Jin. I love it.
I have problems with straight up garlic burning my mouth, so
Oof.
can we...
I mean, to be fair, raw garlic is...
Oh, it isn't even raw garlic. It was literally like just seasoning on like pizza crust. I am very weak to spicy. Like, laughably weak.
Also, this is a little bit random. This is a bit unrelated, but I have a question, East.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that Tasha's cauldron was a little overpriced for how thin it was?
Oh, ooh.
Did I just
I mean, I'm gonna be pretty honest. I don't have a lot of D&D books, so trying to use that as a metric to the rest of the compendiums is... I have incomplete information, really. Now, I basically got mine for like a fraction of the cost because my local game store has a awesome incentive. So I kind of feel like I can't answer that with 100% unbiased. I mean, I think there's definitely good stuff to be had there. I would think like if you can get a deal on it somewhere, that's fantastic. But just myself personally speaking, is that I try to support my local store whenever possible. So I was okay getting it there for full price minus a discount.
Oh, Nova just said they're also going to be eating, so we want to take a break.
Okay. All right. So maybe like a 10-15 minute break then.
Yep.
Okay. I'll see you all in 15 then.
Bye.
Bye.